Hey, just a brief word before the video actually starts. I haven't done a video in a while, basically because since I updated my laptop to Windows 10, the editing software that's already on the laptop wouldn't work. Would record a video, and it would keep saying the file was corrupt. It just wasn't working. I wasn't able to edit anything. So what I was able to do, I was able to eventually remedy the problem, and the video that I'd recorded, that I converted it to a format that I could use. Now the reason I'm giving this little intro is because in the video I reference things that are kind of past tense, that are kind of pretty old. I mean the video is basically about the up and coming film Captain America: Civil War and why I'm not looking forward to it. And I referenced certain things, like I referenced there was a Disney convention, a fan expo that happened in the video. I see recently. This, as of this recording, was ages ago. And I also referenced that next week a great movie called Straight Outta Compton is coming up, the NWA rap movie, and that's almost gone from the cinemas at this point. You know, but again, I would the time I recorded it, it wasn't. Um, it was recent news then, but then I had the editing and video issues. So just to let you know that some of the things you might hear in the video are old news because I recorded this ages ago. I only now I'm able to upload it. So enjoy. Hello, welcome to another episode of What the F. This is just going to be a quick one, to be honest with you. I mean, the one I recently posted last week about the Batman v Superman trailer ran for half an hour. I've always said I try to keep the videos as short as possible, but I tend to ramble on, so decided I'll keep this one short, hopefully. And it's about something that I read recently. It's another geek theme. Again, apologies for that if you're not into it, but frankly, most of the people who've seen these videos would be interested in that kind of thing. So the subject is about a movie that's coming out next year. It's called Captain America: Civil War. Now, the Marvel Studios and the Marvel gang in general have been great with the films they've come out with. I mean, we've had Iron Man, we've had Captain America, we've had Thor, the Hulk, Guardians of the Galaxy, and a whole lot more. I mean, DC is playing catch up with them, frankly. I mean, I like what DC are doing with their films, but they're playing catch up with Marvel because Marvel took their time. They drew all these films out, and it led to the Avengers. You know, that great film where they took all their best superheroes and put them in one fucking brilliant film. Well, this one is specifically though about Captain America, and kind of about Iron Man as well, because Iron Man is going to be in Captain America: Civil War. Now, for those who don't know, most of you probably do, but for those who don't know, the movie will be based on a graphic novel called, obviously, Captain America: Civil War. And the basic plot of that graphic novel is the government wants superheroes to register. You know, they want to be. They say that basically to the superheroes, we want you to become official workers for the government. You know, we'll pay you. You just gotta sign the register. You know, and we'll know who you are. And that's a sore point for Captain America, aka Steve Rogers. What do you say, aka Steve Rogers is his name. Captain America is what he's known as. Steve Rogers is opposed to this because it's always been in the superhero genre. The superheroes who wear masks, like Batman and fucking the Flash and the Arrow and Superman. Superman doesn't wear a mask, but he disguises his identity. And the reason for that, they always say, is to protect loved ones, friends. Because I mean, if somebody were to find out that Clark Kent is Superman, they could easily go after Lois Lane or Martha Kent, you know, Perry White or Jimmy Olsen. You know, so it's understandable why they have the dual identity. And the Captain America is basically opposed to the registering because of that very reason. You know, if they register with the government basically has control over them. They become government stooges, employees. And the fact that they're vigilantes, for lack of a better term, means they have free reign to do what needs to be done, which is why they do. I mean, you see it in the likes of Arrow, Flash, even Batman. You know, Batman and Superman. All most of the superheroes act outside of the law. You know, they don't work for the police. They don't work for the government. They can do what needs to be done that the government and the police force can't do. So it's with that in mind that Captain America is against registration. But Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, is for it. He thinks it's a great idea and it should be done. And basically, Captain America becomes kind of leader of a rebellion, if you will, you know, because those who are opposed to the superhero registration are seen as the enemy. And essentially, Iron Man and his supporters are sent in to sort out Steve Rogers, Captain America, and those who are against the superhero registration. And I could go through the entire detail of the graphic novel, but frankly, that would go beyond even what I would do for a video. So essentially, basically, you know, they're against each other. There's a big fight out between these superheroes who are the good guys, but it's just one side doesn't want to be in debt to the government. You know, they essentially, what they don't want is, they don't want to register and they don't want to work for the government because that would inhibit what they're able to do. And it's like if Captain America, who's against the registration of the superheroes, if he tries to intervene in a crime going on, he could technically be arrested. Whereas what they're saying is, look, if you register, you won't. You'll be working for us. And as I said already, they're against that. So basically, there's a back and forth kind of, you know, war of words and physical fucking fights in the graphic novel. And spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read the graphic novel. The graphic novel basically ends with Captain America in jail, and Tony Stark is head of the Shield. And he is essentially the guardian of the superhero registration, because his logic is, who better to guard the identities than me, which is a strange logic to it, yeah. But the point is, right, the graphic novel doesn't end well, you know. It ends with, because again, the graphic novel essentially pitted hero against hero, good guy against good guy. You know, that normally doesn't happen, and it's a great graphic novel. It's fantastic. You know, I love it, but I'm probably the only, I would imagine maybe there's one or two out there, others, I don't know, but I'm kind of not looking forward to this film, and I'm not, I'm like, you know, I'm surprised. I thought, like, because the superhero films lately, be it Marvel or DC, have been fantastic. It's great, because we've never had this level of attention before, because normally, like, you know, these superhero geeky things we see, oh, that's for little kids, like, you know, and it's not cool. And now it's fucking, it's in vogue, if you will, to use a stupid phrase. But it's cool now to like these things, you know. Whereas in the past, I would have been ridiculed for liking this stuff. You know, I'm not the fucking one. You know, it's fierce popular. So some will disagree with me. Some, like, you know, I've read some of the comments, because Disney, you know, had their Disney had a fan expo recently. They had a convention where they highlight all things Disney. Come see all the great stuff about Disney, and they also use it to highlight what's coming. Like, they had a Star Wars panel, and they showed the trailer for the first kind of trailer for first footage actually for Captain America: Civil War, and it's due out in May of 2016. The film, right? Now, as I said, I'm kind of not looking forward to it, because you'd think I would be, but I'm not, and I'll tell you what. Because if there's one thing I hate in entertainment, in my entertainment, be it in music, in television, or in films, or even probably in books, I suppose, yeah, although not so much, is repetitiveness. I don't like have the same thing over and over and then, and kind of going back and forth on top of it. You know, they do one thing one day, and then they do another, and then back and forth, and it gets irritating and annoying. I mean, the example I always quote of how I don't like is Friends. TV show Friends, when like one of the central kind of plots in there was this kind of love story between the characters of Ross and Rachel. They hooked up, they broke up, they hooked up, they broke up. The back and forth, the fucking changing nature of it was irritating, which is why I stopped watching, because it became predictable, and it was a show that went on for too long. But I just hated the kind of back and forth of their relationship. It was annoying. I was like, just get on with it, just do it already. And that's kind of what's happening with this Captain America film, the Civil War movie. Now it's great that everyone's involved in it. Like, you know, people were afraid that maybe Robert Downey Jr., who plays Iron Man, was done with the role, but apparently he's going to be in this. And the problem I have is, as I said, is repetitiveness, because what happened is this. All the Marvel movies led up to the Avengers. You know, you had Thor, you had Iron Man, you had Captain America, you had the Hulk. And they all had their like post-credit scene that was essentially leading to the movie, The Avengers. Brilliant, fucking great film by the genius Joss Whedon. And in that movie, that essentially was like, you know, how did the Avengers come together? You know, these are superheroes they've never met before. You know, you see them in the flying kind of helicopter ship thing, is where they all meet for the first time. And there's a famous fight between Iron Man and Thor. You know, Captain America butts in. But basically, in terms of, like, you know, as I said, the central topic of this one is Captain America. It's depicted in the film, in the early parts of the film, that Captain America and Iron Man don't get on. You know, Iron Man thinks Captain America should just, you know, relax, let loose, you know, all these strict rules and regulations. And, you know, Captain America thinks, you know, Tony Stark is arrogant and self-serving and, you know, just high on himself. And basically, they don't get on. They don't like each other at all. And there's, you know, and that's obvious in the film. And that they don't get on. They don't like each other. But by the end of the Avengers movie, they were friends. They were buddies. You know, they kind of held. You know, Tony Stark, you know, flew up into the portal that was letting in all the bad guys, and he blew it up. And you know, they were essentially buddies, friends. And you see, like, you know, at the end when the Avengers are going their separate ways, they shake hands. You know, they're like, you know. They're good. Things are good and decent between them. Fair enough. Then we had the film the sequel to Avengers, which was Age of Ultron, and again another great film. Movie starts with you know, obviously Captain America and Iron Man still friends, buddies. You know, there's a party, they're having a few drinks, they're having a great time. And then as the film progresses, surprise, surprise, they don't get on anymore. They don't like each other again, you know, because, you know, Tony Stark wants to use the clone thing in that Ultron was trying to build, and put Jarvis into it, you know, make it kind of a good guy. And, you know, Captain America didn't approve of this, and they kind of clashed, butted heads, they fought. So again, they didn't like each other again. But then by the end of Ultron, they're friends again. You know, so that's what bothers me about this, because it's the changing nature of the relationship. It's back and forth. There's only so many times you can do something like that before people get a little irritated. And maybe it's early in the kind of Avengers universe, but I'm sick. I'm annoyed of it already. You know, I mean, it's you know, by the end of Ultron again, as I said, they were friends again. But the Civil War graphic novel is pretty intense in the fact that, like, you know, normally it's good guy against bad guy, but in this one it's good guy against good guy. You know, and it's I kind of, like, you know, I can envision the Civil War movie starting out with, you know, obviously Captain America and Iron Man being friends, but then this whole superhero registration thing pops up, and suddenly they don't like each other again. You know, they fucking don't, because again, if they're gonna go by the graphic novel, that's what happens. You know, I mean, the poster they released of Captain America Civil War just says, which side are you on? So it's obvious they're going to be pretty faithful and stick close to the graphic novel. But as I already said, the graphic novel ends with Captain America in jail, beaten figuratively and literally, you know, because it was a big fight. He had the crap beat out of him, and he lost his fight. And again, they're fucking not buddies again. You know, again, it's just a fucking back and forth of the thing. But it just annoys me that they're just gonna look. Oh god, here we go again. Unless the only hope that I hold out is that they have to take liberties. Now they've stuck pretty close to the source material so far in their film. You know, they've stuck pretty close to it, the origins for the superheroes and all that. They've been pretty faithful to the story, what's come before. But in order to kind of, I don't know, it could potentially, at least from my point of view, alienate some of the fans because, again, as I said, what annoys me is the ever fucking back and forthness with the relationship between Captain America and Iron Man. They like each other, they hate each other, they like each other, they hate each other. Eventually, it's just going to get incredibly annoying. So I would have to hope that they change the outcome rather than sticking that closely to the Civil War graphic novel. They would have to change the outcome because there's another 2 Avengers movies to come. Now I'm going to presume that Iron Man is going to be in those, and so is Captain America, because again they're both in the Avengers group. So what will if they make the movie and they stick too close to the graphic novel, and they stick close to the end of it, like, you know, the Civil War movie ends, Captain America locked up in prison. What is that going to mean for the Avengers films, the future Avengers movies? As far as I know, there's 2 more to come. And again, it's just going to be another back and forth. Like, you know, what are they going to do? Is they going to make, I mean, the next Avengers movie, is it going to be like, you know, oh god, we've come up against a threat, we need the Avengers. Hang on, one of them's in jail, we'll let him out. Now, if you're sent into prison, like, you know, Captain America is in the Civil War graphic novel, you're going to be pretty pissed when you get out. And he goes, hey, here's the guy, you've got to work with the guy who put you in there. And again, by the end of that movie, you'll be like, oh, we're friends again. And that's what makes me not look forward to this film. I mean, I'll probably go see it. I mean, I will. I'll go see it, but I'm not full of excitement. Like, we have fucking the Batman v Superman film coming next year. I cannot wait for that. You know, there's a lot of these superhero films coming out. I mean, they're apparently going to do The Flash, they're going to do Aquaman, Wonder Woman, finally. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. But I'm not really looking forward to the Captain America movie. It's out next year. I think, as far as I know, the Batman v Superman film is out first, because obviously they don't want those 2 to collide. You know, they want to make as much money as possible from these films. So it would be kind of stupid to have them come out at the same time. I think Batman v Superman's out in March, and as I said, Captain America Civil War out in May. But again, like, you know, I'll be mad Russian, can't wait to see fucking Batman v Superman. Whereas with the Captain America film, I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, I missed Ant-Man. I didn't see it. I missed the recent Terminator Genesis. I didn't see it at all, because I didn't have huge excitement for them, and I just like, you know, I can't be bothered. You know, there was no real excitement. Like, you know, there's a movie coming out next week as I record this, Straight Outta Compton, the kind of biopic about the rap group NWA. I fucking can't wait to see that. Very excited for that film. I don't feel that way for the next Captain America film, because I don't like it. I mean, people might agree with me. I think the majority will probably disagree with me, at least from the comments that I've read already. But it's just I don't like repetitiveness. I've said that already, and I keep saying that. I don't like repetitiveness. And it makes me fear for, as I already mentioned, about the future of the Avengers films, those films in general. Because, like, you know, Iron Man and Captain America are lead characters in the Avengers. And it would be kind of stupid if, like, you know, well, you know, while they're going up against the bad guy, 2 central characters who are meant to be working on the same side hate each other. You know, that's not something to me that appeals to me. Like, you know, I don't like that. I mean, I would prefer if, ideally, they make the Civil War movie, change the outcome, though, rather than go with the ending in the graphic novel. Change the outcome, because it'll go better into the next Avengers movie with a bit more continuity, you know, rather than having this back and forth nature of their relationship. There's only so many times you can do it before it just becomes stupid and annoying. So, yeah. no real point in this video, to be honest with you. It's just a little rant, you know. And as most of the videos are, I think, frankly. But yeah, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. If you agree with me or if you disagree with me, you know, fair enough. But either way, let me know what you think, and I'll be back next week with another video. So yeah, take care, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.